Well, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us and being here with us again for another wonderful episode of Secret Jews. Today we're going to share with you uncovering hidden Jewish history. On this episode, Evangelical Christians with Jewish roots. Let's go ahead and give our sponsors their due. First of all, the wonderful documentary, The Secret Jews of Calabria, and we're actually going to give you a little peek inside this documentary today with a few clips for you. This documentary uncovered Jewish traditions hidden for over 500 years. If you want to find out how to get your copy of this documentary on DVD, or even how to have an event and host a viewing for your group or your organization, please visit RabbiBarbara.com and you'll be able to see more information on that. Carl Perkal, the producer of The Secret Jews of Calabria and IbexMotion, where documentary film is used as a key to our past and our future. You can always email Carl at cperkal, P-E-R-K-A-L, at netvision.net.il. And Rabbi Barbara Aiello, Italy's first woman rabbi. Find out about all of Rabbi's wonderful services that she offers at RabbiBarbara.com. And the William David Company, we are the proud producers of Secret Jews. To find out more about all of your business marketing solutions, visit WilliamDavidCompany.com. Well, let's go ahead and bring on your co-host for today's episode, Rabbi Barbara Aiello. Welcome, Rabbi.
Thank you very much, and welcome to all of our viewers. And it's so good to be back with Dr. Randi and producer Carl. Hello.
Hi, everybody. And Rabbi, give us a clue. Where are you speaking to us from? Very relevant.
I am speaking from my rabbi's study, which is above the synagogue at Ner Tamid del Sud, in the mountains of Calabria, the instep of the Italian boot, a little village called Serrastretta.
So you have to bear with us if you ever see Rabbi disappear, or sometimes you lose a little bit of the syncing in the video, because she's literally on top of a mountain in these small villages in Italy. And I could tell you, having been there, the internet is basically like fishing wire. So if we lose them,
dial-up connection, ladies and gentlemen.
my 14-year-old was like being in hell with no internet everywhere we went to Italy. So just bear with us if from time to time we seem to be doing okay, but just be aware of that. And Carl, you are joining us from?
I'm in Israel, and if I showed you out my window, I would be pointing in the direction of the ancient Roman town of Caesarea, which is really one of the, for anybody who's been in Israel or hasn't, as a matter of fact, really one of the great archaeological sites from the Roman times in Israel.
All right. Well, Rabbi, you going to start us off today? I think I'm very, very interested to hear this episode myself.
Yes, I am very enthusiastic about the evangelical Christians who live and work and worship all through these mountains, mountain towns, and all and up and down the coast of Calabria, because many of them, and I would venture to say it could even be the majority of them, have found an attraction to evangelical Christianity because they have Jewish roots. Now that may seem unusual to you, but let me explain. When established Judaism was eradicated, was wiped out from Calabria during the time of the Inquisition, synagogues were taken over and by the Inquisition authorities, and they were turned into churches. Schools were disbanded, and people took their traditions not only into their homes, but into the basements of their homes, and often observed in secret. As the centuries wore on, we're talking about 500 years ago, and as the centuries wore on, for people to maintain some connection with Judaism via a book, what kind of a book could they have? Really, only the Christian Bible, the Old Testament, was what, of course, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, the 5 books of Moses, which comprise the Jewish Torah. If you wanted some connection with the written Jewish word, you turned to the Old Testament of the Christian Bible. And my husband had this experience as a boy. His grandmother taught him his Jewish history by reading the Bible stories from a Christian Bible that they had in their home. So when the evangelical movement took hold here in recent years, I would say back not more than 100 years ago, those with Jewish roots who may have heard some of these stories found an affinity in the evangelical church, because not only did they hear the stories, but the ancient Jewish holidays, the ancient that are described biblically in the 5 books of Moses, were observed and continue to be observed by the evangelical Christians today here in Italy.